Yo, we're very sorry. We're 11 minutes late. But we got a big, really good excuse. We went to the premiere of the Black Wall Street film, Greenwood Avenue Project. And actually, my co-hosts were there. Jamal's out on assignment today, so I will be doing the slideshow today. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to let Tony take it. You see that Greenwood Avenue shirt she had on? Greenwood Ave, baby. She picked it up. So we do have those shirts available too. So, but I'm going to let Tony tell her about your experience.
Tell her.
I'm still tired.
I know,
right? I'm going to tell you about her experience at the movie last night.
Yeah, we're tired. It's early. We've been running.
Yeah. Burning the midnight oil.
Midnight oil since the 8th of what? January?
Oh, God. No. Well, you know, this project started December 15th.
Well, yeah.
I was like, yeah, gung-ho, yeah, no, 2025 is going to be the bomb. And then it was the bomb. Like, they dropped the bomb on our neighborhood. And so that kind of thwarted 3 weeks of my life away from promoting the movie. But, you know, we had a great turnout. And the meet and greet was nice. And so out of 100 tickets we sold 71 tickets online and 8 at the door. So we had a nice crowd. I'll show you a couple of pictures later on the if you want to see the video snippets and stuff like that. I was going to put it here, but I'm going to make you go to the website and look under our events and see the photo gallery. So check that out tomorrow. I won't be updating it today. I'm too tired. But anyway, I'm going to let Tony tell you about her experience with it. So take it away.
All right. So Tony's going to talk.
Tony's going to talk.
About the Greenwood Avenue Project. I don't know when it's going to be shown again, but it needs to be immediately. This documentary film was amazing. It was well worth what was the ticket? $21 or whatever? Whatever it was, it doesn't matter. Comes out again, I will be there again. So
appreciate you.
Oh, for sure. I bought tickets. My parents, came and they loved it. My father tends to fall asleep because he's almost 88. My father was sitting right next to me. I kept looking because his eyes were open the whole time. I kept going,
He's still awake.
He's
listening to you right now.
That's fine, because my mama, she be on here. She was
probably
on the other side. Like, okay, he's still awake. No, this film was fabulous. To hear from, Deion Anderson was sitting to my right, and we were talking. We were trying to talk quietly because, I don't like when people talk through the movie, but we were saying, girl, we need to take a trip to Tulsa. And I started looking up real estate on my phone. Like, we need to buy some real estate in North Tulsa. Like, and really help bring Tulsa back. And even if we do it as a group and do like a house at a time or whatever, like they want to make sure people know about what happened with the Tulsa Race Massacre. And this film needs to be everywhere. It needs to get into the Black History Museum in Washington. It needs to.
That's one of the goals.
The NAACP, like it needs to be literally everywhere, and everyone needs to see it. So I know that this was the premiere and the first showing or whatever, I believe, or at least, out of their area where they did it, but it needs to be everywhere. Schools need to see it. And, a lot of schools and places are going against DEI and all of this.
And critical race theory, teaching.
Right. But this is history. And I learned a lot. And like to see the pictures of when the bombs had dropped and to think about, I've served, I'm a veteran, but to know, and I know a whole lot. I've had a top secret clearance, all of that. I know what our government is capable of, but to think, because my grandmother was born in Oklahoma in 1922. So like April of 22. Oh,
1 year later.
Almost a year later. And to think about like, okay, my grandmother and them were I don't think Tulsa, but Guthrie or whatever, but all right there. And my grandparents lived there in that area. And to know what like happened a little bit more than what I've heard all my life, because it has been passed down to us in my family, right? But like everyone needs to see this film. Everyone needs to talk about it. Everyone needs Karen. It was phenomenal. It was absolutely phenomenal. And like I said, for my dad to stay awake the whole movie and not doze off at all, and I kept looking. He really thoroughly enjoyed it. He was saying as we, walked out, and my mom did too. It is our history. It is the true history of this nation. Like so much that a specific culture, the European folks, the colonizers have done globally, right? They come in, they kill, they steal, they destroy. Just like what the devil
and then they blame it on you.
And then and then they try to gaslight and say,
"Oh, it's your fault. You're rich. You guys are self-sufficient. We can't even get a good price on our goods because you guys have a set price. We're going to destroy you."
Right, but you think about it. Even with DEI now, it's the same type of rhetoric, right? And they diversity, equity, inclusion, and everybody thought that meant Black folks have too much. So let's burn stuff down. And now in that state, and they're finding out clear woman, it was set up for you, and it includes you. No,
I was just about to say that. That's what I was going to say. It's like the white woman is going to be the most vulnerable on this situation.
The clear woman, right?
So, y'all voted for your own demise.
Right. And
they're trying to take it back to Mad Men. You know how the men are always advertising smoking cigarettes and treated women like objects and everything was about the man. And now you're about to bring it back to that. Thanks for voting for that. Just like people who vote for gas and cigarette price hikes when they use gas and smoke cigarettes.
And one of the most profound statements out of the whole movie, and I posted it and tagged everybody last night, like sitting there right after the young man said it. I wish I would have gotten his name, but it flashed the screen too much. But he had the locks, and it was with the young people that were sitting at that table, that picnic type table.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, towards the end.
Yeah, and he said, what was it? I got to look on my Facebook on my phone. Oh, he said we have to quit using Band-Aids for wounds, I think, that require surgery or something like that.
Right. That's exactly what he said.
Damn, that hit me, because we've done it so much in society, but we do it in our personal lives, right? We need to heal, but we need to do the work, which is the surgery type of work to heal. And we've been trying to do that with the 1619 Project, with critical race theory, with telling the truth about this country's history. And instead, they want to either sweep it under the rug or put a little Band-Aid instead of ripping the Band-Aid off and doing the surgery and doing the work so that we can heal as a country, right? And they have no intention of that because they want to continue to inflict these wounds. So the fact that, like, I got to hear from the elderly, the in-between, and the young ones in this documentary, and people that grew up in Tulsa and never knew about it until they were in another state, in college or working, and somebody said, "Oh, you're from Tulsa, so you knew about the riots or whatever." That blew my mind, because I'm not from there, but my grandmother and them were from, there. And so the fact is, it's trickled down my whole life. Like, I've heard about Tulsa, I've heard about Guthrie, I've heard about all this stuff, and I know about it and have known it my whole life. So to think that other people that live there and the younger people are like, we went to school here our whole lives. We've grown up here. We were born here. And we've never heard about the Tulsa race riots. The Tulsa race massacre.
Because the white people didn't talk about it because they didn't want to make anybody get sparked up about it. The Black people didn't talk about it because they didn't want the white people to be feeling a certain type of way that they might try it again.
Well, they were scared. They've always been scared and live with that threat, right? So that's what's so important. Like, we got to keep talking about it. And the fact that, like Karen said when she came on the show, They raised their own funds and did this on their own. All of you, right? You, your cousin, her, whomever, all of you put it together. And you wouldn't know that because the cinematography, the interviews, everything was so well put together that, yeah, we know. Of course, now in Oklahoma, what is it? Your guys superintendent of the whole state schools. Not only will you get in trouble, suspended, your license taken, but now they're like, let's put these Trump Bibles in school and all that, just foolishness, right?
Hey, let's thank God for Janetti Marshall and sitting on that board, the Tulsa school board, and fighting for it. And even though she said now that she got 24 days left in office,
3 days now,
they've already pushed the lawsuit through, and because she said she was the only Black staff member
on the board. And only the second one, I think, ever. There was a man a long time ago. I think she said.
She did say
and
that.
And then now. And so, yeah, I love that our youth are like, we ain't our grandparents. We're not going for it. We're not standing for it. Like, let's get it, right? And so, because the older generations that were still there would not talk about it. They were terrified still, thinking we'll get lynched again, we'll get bombed again, we'll get whatever. And I tell people all the time when they talk about, oh, I wouldn't live in California, it's too expensive, yada, yada. Baby, I am glad to be a Californian and glad I live here because we don't deal with a lot of the foolishness that's going on in the rest of the country. Yeah. And I could feel pretty safe for the most part, when I walk out my door. Of course, we always gonna have some fools acting up. But
but we stand up to it out here. You might get shot, killed, whatever.
Might get it, right.
The only reason why only people we worry about doing that to us out here is the police.
So
that's it.
Yeah, to Karen, to you, to Terry. Oh, I thought you talk a lot. Because you and I talk, talk throughout the day. We'll text, we'll WhatsApp, we'll call, like, oh, by the way, da-da-da-da-da. Oh, by the way.
Terry holds court.
Baby, holds court.
He's the judge, all 12 jurors, the defendant, the plaintiff, and the crowd in the audience.
I said, oh, he got the mic back? Okay. And it's funny. And me and D said, do we got on overalls? I said, yes, with a suit jacket and a hat.
Because that's him.
Right. I said he is country, but it's all
that's our family's Bernie Mac, and he'll let you have it. But he got great personality. That's what I love about him. He gives he gives no F's about what you think.
No.
But that's what makes him the great orator and that's what I wanted to segue into. The documentary wasn't all about drama and terror. I mean, it was a reminiscent documentary because the guy drove down the street. The barbecue spot used to be over there. The pool hall used to be over there. We used to come down here to the haberdashery to get this. It was very informative, and so the reason why I liked it so much, even right after I saw the edited version, because I saw the interviews, I'm like, this is gonna be boring in the mud. Then when you see it put together, it's way different. No, because when you're sitting there filming, it's like, okay, whatever. But then when you sit down there and edit, now you got screens of pockets and you got to correlate everyone's path that's kind of saying the same thing, and the cutting was excellent. But I love the fact that our town is reminiscent.
Yeah, it was very light. It was not heavy. That's the thing. Like learning and seeing this stuff, you would think to go back to Greenwood that it was heavy, right? And your spirit would be like, oh, no, it was not. It was informative.
People are hella friendly there when I was there. I was like, they're overly friendly.
It was uplifting. It was, for real, phenomenal. And so, Karen, whenever you guys can get it out again, or if we can get it in the theater out here or schools or something, because our schools will still do it. We're not trying
that's my next goal, is to try to do a school tour before summer.
Yeah,
because that'll be easy to set up. But Todd did a great job. I'm really appreciative of how he did it. But reason why I was segueing into that, because it kind of reminds you of our town. We knew where everything was. That used to be that used to be that. So it kind of reminded me, as you drive down the street, it reminded me of thinking of all the places that are gone that I still remember where they were. You know, it's been sunk in for 50 years, but it's just crazy that it was such a relatable experience with us. I don't know about other people because they haven't suffered like that, but now we know.
Is, like Palisades could understand, Santa Cruz, Lahaina, Paradise, they could all, Ventura, where they've had big fires, right? But the difference is we were not, this happened because of a natural disaster, because of the winds and because of climate change and our dryness and not having enough water, right? Which is good. We were not, we have it, it's very traumatic. That will stay with us forever, right? But we don't have the added trauma of the white mob coming in based on a lie to kill us, and then the government helping to bomb us. That's it. That's the difference in it, right? But it doesn't make it, you know, that's what differentiates it, right? But it's still traumatic. It's horrible. And then for those that came out, Karen and everyone else, they weren't alive and didn't see Tulsa afterwards, other than the black and white still pictures or maybe some film or whatever. But then they drove through and got to see it and feel it, because the young lady, I don't want to keep saying with the afro, last night she had green on, in the movie she had the yellow on.
Heather Nash.
Heather, thank you. She literally choked up talking about it last night because she heard it firsthand from her grandmother who lived through it, and then to come and drive through Altadena amongst the rubble and the ashes, it hit home for her. And it, hey, look who showed up.
He's off assignment.
And so it really connected for Heather, and she felt it. Like you could tell she felt it in the depths of her soul because of what she living in Tulsa, because of, thank you, Karen, Heather Nicole Nash, because of what she has experienced living there, the racism and things, and then knowing the history of her city and hearing it passed down from her Janetti, thank you. Hearing it from her grandmother, and then for them to drive through it, it does nothing but go, oh shoot, this is the imagery that goes with the story that I've known all my life. And
they got choked up filming it while they were up there.
Oh, I bet. That was so impactful. And I think I was telling Dion, I was like, shoot, Altadena need to be Tulsa's sister city, because we have that common thread. And I need to find out all those boutiques, because when the guy was talking that has the hoodies and the sweatshirts and all that, I looked behind him. I said, D, look at them beanies. We need to get a couple of them beanies that say Black Wall Street. One was in cursive, one was another. I said, look at that pink one.
A couple of pink ones there.
Right. She said, I like that black one. I said, I need to get that link, see if he has an online store so we can support them, because I'm a rock.
So they give you a book when I went there at the, it's a little booklet when you go to the Black Wall Street Museum, and it says buy Black Tulsa, and it's got every I would have still had it, but my stuff got burned up. But I'll have Terry send us some out. It's a little square booklet. It's about 20 pages, and it has every business in there that's on Black Wall Street.
Yeah, so I just put it up online. Buy Black Tulsa. Oh, it says check back soon. I'm gonna find it so we can put it up next week or whatever. Yeah, Gene, that's what we're like. We need to go to Tulsa.
Yeah, we need to do a group shot.
We do.
And just document it, because when I went there, I flew my drone around the city, and Terry said, well, you're not flying far. It's only like 4 blocks, when it used to be 4 or 5 miles. But like I still captured it. Yeah, and the train came through there and everything. That's all they needed. Now they built a freeway. They put a farm team of Oklahoma's baseball there. Oklahoma University has taken over some of the other spots. And it's not, but the people there are really nice. I mean, almost to the point of frightening.
So I found that link.
No, for real.
It has a bunch of
I
stuff.
believe it. Hey, I'm curious. So what's left of Greenwood Avenue? Is it protected? Is it like a historical landmark?
I believe it is now. Terry would have to come on and give us some idea. of
Yeah,
what.
because I would hope so.
I think it is though, because I think when I was out there, I was so overwhelmed by all the different things I was learning, especially when you walk in that museum and you sit down. I'm just going to give you one spoiler. There are 3 vintage barber chairs in front of this really long mirror.
Mm-hmm.
And when you walk in, okay, what's that for? You know, why they, you sit down in the chair and 2 3D holograms come up of 2 barbers talking to each other about before everything happened, during everything happened, and after everything happened.
Oh wow.
And I just sat there with tears. It was just bad. And it was weird because of course I'm in there and there are other white people in there. And I see it's uncomfortable
Yeah.
because you're looking at what your people did, not your relatives, but your people did to our people. So it's like kind of hard to look at this person and we're reading the same thing. I'm interpreting it a different way. I don't know how they're interpreting it. I really wanted to turn to her and say, what do you think about all this? I really wanted to.
Well, you know what? I think that brings a good point because someone in the movie said, and I think this is what has had Clear America so up in arms, because they always say, you won't replace us, number one, or DEI is about making them feel bad for what their ancestors did. We're not trying to make you feel bad. We're trying to say this is history. Let's acknowledge it so we can
And
heal and
change
move
it.
on. That's what has to happen. You have to acknowledge it so we can heal and move forward. But they want to have the narrative of it's about making them feel bad. You can't feel bad for something your grandma, great grandparents or whatever did, right? You can have empathy that it happened to another culture, but I can't feel bad for that because it wasn't me, right? And so I think what has to happen is that's the correct narrative that needs to get out there. Because, it was a man saying, don't be bitter. My grandmother said, we didn't want you bitter. That's why we didn't tell you about it. Well, we can get angry for a minute. Bitterness is something that's rooted in the soul and carries on, and you can never move beyond that. And
Which race was supposed to not be feeling bitter? The black race or the white race during that time?
Us.
We are not supposed to be bitter.
That's what the relative. Yeah.
The grandmother was saying, we didn't tell you guys because don't be bitter, son, or whatever, right? I think it was the guy with he had like a purple shirt on and a cap or whatever. But so I don't think at me at 59, I'm not bitter about it or even slavery, right? But it's something that we have to talk about and I'm not bitter because I'm so far removed generationally, right? But it happened to my ancestors. It happened to our people. So yes, I can have empathy. I could be mad for a minute, but I'm not going to be bitter and hold it forever because I will never be able to function or I'll hold myself in a prison. I don't want to hold white people in a prison, clear people in a prison or something like that for something that happened a long time ago. But I want you all to acknowledge that your ancestors did this to my ancestors, right? And that's what made parts of the US or our country the way it is. And in order for us to change it so we can all be considered citizens and have equal rights and liberties, we have to talk about it, we have to acknowledge it, and then move beyond that. And that's where the disconnect is. Instead of them talking and acknowledging it, they're like, oh, well, you're trying to make me accountable or hold me for what they did. No, we're not. We're asking you simply listen. This is the truth. Feel it for a minute because you have to. I don't care who you are. If you have a soul and any humanity, you have to feel it and know that they was wrong. And then what can we do to get beyond that? And I think that that's the problem. And why instead of doing that, we're not going to acknowledge it. It's a lie. Brown people, black people.
Why are you blaming me for something that my parents did? Well, exactly. Here's the thing. I don't really blame anybody for anything, but you got some sort of knowledge about what happened. So to say that part is a cop-out because you know as good as I know my history. And my history was filled with shame and embarrassment and control, and yours is filled with I'm sitting on high looking down going, why are they so mad at me? We're not mad. We just want you to acknowledge the fact that this happened and that you can make that promise that it won't happen again.
I think this nation, well, in particular, the people who control the narrative about the educational system in particular, they have an unnatural relationship with history, meaning they don't want to tell the truth. They want to tell something that makes them look good.
Makes them feel
That's
good.
why they're trying to not just squash and really water down our history, but anybody else that don't look like them that has anything to do with this country or the world for that matter. If they were just honest with facts, right, from the get-go, none of this kind of bitterness or a perspective of us trying to make them feel a certain way about this particular subject that we're talking about would even exist, because we're just speaking facts. From what I understand, the folks in Germany speak quite thoroughly about what they had done, what their part was in the internment camps and how they treated Jewish folks and this, that, and the other. They don't hold it back. They don't try to hide it and tuck it away somewhere and make it seem like it didn't happen.
But the difference is they're all clear people, right?
I mean, I get that, but that mentality though about just relating facts all the way through is the part that I'm saying that we got that bad relationship, or they have the bad relationship with. All we're trying to do is say, look, this ish happened. You need to be aware of it. And as part of the quote that was in the movie, you got to understand your history so you don't repeat it. Right. Mm-hmm. And if we had that, we wouldn't really have that. We wouldn't be repeating it because we would be growing. And that part about bitterness, I don't think we as a people would stay in that level of feeling, because that's just not in our nature. We grow, we evolve, we keep pushing along no matter what.
Right.
And I mean, it's evident right now. So I think just the more we can get our story out, whether it be in the classroom or not, obviously we would like it to be there too, but the more we can actually get our stories out there for the world to see, it's the better. It's the better for the world, whether the world sees it or not.
So here's to you, Terry Bacchus, on the plane, ready to fly out to Tulsa, man. We've dedicated this first part of the show to let you see what your product has done. So
Terry talks.
Yeah, Terry talks. Yeah, Terry talks a lot. That's what we're gonna put. That's
Terry
your name of your show. Name of your show is Terry Talks a Lot. No, I'm just playing that.
Terry talks. That's it.
Tony said, "Tony, are you the nice lady at the table?" Yes, you were talking to her. No, you actually. That was
Pam at the table for check-in.
Oh no! Remember, Terry? She came to dinner.
Oh,
the dinner we had before. No, Pam is the lady at the table. Now she's gonna be known as the lady at the table.
That's common.
Yeah, the documentary was phenomenal. They were all great. Super impressed, like I said, and I think however it gets out immediately, wherever it's going to show next, if it shows here again next in the theaters, whatever, like that theater should have been sold out last night. I think that as people begin to hear about it, if there's another showing, we need to pump it up so much it's sold out, because this is amazing.
I have to say, we only allotted 100 tickets and we had 78 people buy.
Yeah, that's not bad.
So I was happy with the turn.
That's great.
But I do know
the last couple days.
I'm gonna tell you right now, for those of y'all that didn't show up and told me you was going to, I'm telling you, don't ask me, don't come to me for no consultation. I'm banning you from Style Click Media consultations.
I have one little added piece.
Did you have the ball on top of your head, Tony? That was you at the dinner.
Night, yes, at dinner. My hair was up in a bun.
But see, that's Terry. That's Terry. Terry is going to tell it to you straight from the hip.
At dinner, yes, I had the bun or the ball on top of my head.
He's going to be like, Shashwa! Shooting from the hip. Shashwa!
Just to impress upon you guys how important it is for this message to get out, I came with my 13-year-old daughter, Kaya. she sat through it, and afterwards it was a little long for her. You know, teenagers, attention span, and that kind of thing. It's a little challenging for her, but she came away with that very impressed. Number one, the Uncle B was part of a project like that, and she really liked that. But she also came away with the knowledge of what happened. She was kind of blown away, couldn't believe that the city was demolished, basically devastated, massacred, all those people in 18 hours.
Right.
And she is going to look into it a little bit more. She's going to look into a lot more of the history and other things that have happened, because I had to let her know. I was like, hey, look, baby, this isn't the only thing that you weren't taught about in school. There's a plethora of other stories, and our history is rich and strong and full of many of these kind of stories that you're just not going to hear on your own. You got to do some research. There's stuff that we've shared with them. My mom, of course, being an English teacher, and rather, she had a huge library of African history, literature, and history. She shared this information with him. I think now she's going to pick up on it a lot more, because she's got to see something and relate to people who were there live, in particular with the movie, and relatives of the people who experienced it. So I thought it was
Mosan brought his daughter yesterday too. Mm-hmm. So it was I like to see the family thing going, because you're passing down history to your children, and that's how you're supposed to do it. By letting people see what really happened. I mean, sometimes they don't believe the stories you tell them.
True.
What would be great if when we do Altadena Day, and I know it'll probably be outside and it might not show well on an outdoor screen, but it would be great if somehow around then we could do a screening of it for Altadenians, right?
I think that could work. I think that can rearrange.
Yeah, because the connection, both the cities or towns burned down, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the fact that Altadena Day is going to have everyone, youth, elderly, in between, everything. And some that are there and have talked about it all their lives. Some of us that have known about it all our lives, some that have never heard about it, but everybody there to view it, everything together would be amazing if we could show it again at Altadena Day.
I think that could happen. Remember during the pandemic when they had the movies down at the Rose Bowl where you drove up in your car? So I'm going to see about getting that screen, because that could be one whole end of the park.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then, while you're over here, that'll be away from the festivities. And then over here could be the showing, and it could be on repeat all day.
Yeah, we just have to have something that obviously the screen would be in the background, and then something that would create a shadow, right? And yeah, in the evening or something like that.
No, not with these screens, because Rose Bowl, theirs started showing at 5:00, and the sun was right there. You could still see the screen playing.
Yeah, you can see it pretty clearly, but I don't know if we're going to be able to get that kind of screen.
Yeah, probably not that one, because that was hundreds of thousands of dollars. But either way,
well, we can find a sponsor. We got Altadena Talks Foundation,
right? So yeah, but that would be really dope if at Altadena Day somehow, whether we get a screen with some type of shade over so people could see it or whatever.
Gene, people might crash if we show a movie on the grocery outlet wall.
Right.
Every time, what's that going on? We'd be liabilities.
So Karen, we've been obviously talking about it, and we are telling people don't sell their land, but like we've been talking about on this show, there are some people that are going to sell. Prices in Altadena are totally different than prices in Tulsa. Like, I wish I could get a 4-bedroom 2 or plus bath for 200-something thousand, right?
You can't even get the land out here now for less than $1.5 million, the way these gougers are going.
1.1, 1.2. So yes, we continue to talk about that daily, and we're encouraging people, please don't sell. My pastor, Pastor John, with some others, has started this Legacy Land Foundation, where they're getting money, I believe, for grants to help people to not sell and rebuild. And we'll talk about that a little more on March 8th at the town hall, because it is at my church, and my pastor will be there, and he'll have a minute to discuss that as well. But we do understand there are people that are going to sell. And like I keep saying on here, we got to give grace to all our neighbors, because we literally don't know one another's situation.
Right.
And we don't know, if somebody is older and they don't have anybody in their family, right? Nieces, nephews, grandkids, or anything that can that can pass that land down to, and they can't even think about how would I rebuild, regardless of insurance, right? But I'm this age and they're saying it's going to take X amount of years. They may sell and decide to go live in a nice senior town, complex or something like that, and use that money to live. And if that's the case, that's okay. We show them grace, right? Our goal and our desire is don't sell, especially if you're African American, because of the history of Altadena, and especially if somebody in your family could keep that land, right? And because of the prices out here. And if that land is under Prop 13, that's a whole nother issue. Because if you have it in a trust and you can pass it down and not have to worry about capital gains and all of those things, then it stays under that. So there's a lot of factors, and we are encouraging people, please don't sell, please don't sell. Some lots have already sold, some are up for sale, and we know that some are going to sell, but we are trying to encourage the majority of them. And I have to say this, I believe the majority of Altadenians have said they are not selling, they're going to rebuild. So, that's a positive thing, right? That the majority are saying that. So we just have to keep encouraging people, best we can, and who chooses to sell, we got to show them grace.
So Sean, to answer your question, Karen did record the Q&A and she uploaded it, but it was taking a while. So what we'll probably do is I'll send you a link to it, but we're also going to probably show some of that on the show on Monday. That's our weekend recap, right? We always do on Mondays. That show on Monday is more like a more relaxed to get you ready to come into Tony Talk Show, which is Tuesdays. So we just trying to make sure that we keep you captivated with different things that we bring you every week, 5 days a week. And we did have Bobby and Sonia was out there in full effect, got more backuses than you could shake a stick at in one place in California. So that was cool. And they actually are having a robotics thing tomorrow that I'm going to attend. She had sent me the flyer. I forgot to send it to you, Jamal. So
it's all good.
And we didn't do the flyers today. So
hey, can we if we put that up, that's cool. But before we finish this discussion and do other flyers for things, I put a link in there, the BWS BlackWallStreetTees.com. Can we pull that site up and just run through it, and then people can look at that link? Because if people want to buy t-shirts and sweatshirt or hoodies or souvenirs, candles,
yep.
I put it in our chat. There is a site that we can support and start. Yeah, if you look at the hamburger menu up at the top left, and you go to clothing or accessories or souvenirs, there's books. Right there, even for t-shirts. There's hoodies, there's t-shirts, right? And if we put that link in the Facebook chat or whatever,
I'm about to do that right now.
Go and start supporting now, because this is the Black Wall Street Tees. This is a vendor, I think, that was in the documentary, and because he had some of these on last night in the documentary, and so that's one way that we can go on and begin to support Tulsa or the Greenwood area, Black Wall Street, because we did talk about that. Yeah, there goes some of the beanies. But this is one of the people there that are that have all the Black Wall Street stuff. So if anybody, since we talked about it, spoke it up a few minutes ago. Up from the ashes, click on that other one. What is that?
This one?
Yeah. No, we can't bring it up any higher, huh? I mean, any larger.
I can do this.
No, enlarge the screen. That looks like that would be an interesting book. maybe that's how they rebuilt, or who knows what. But yeah. So anyway, that's the site, and you all can go on there and look at anything that's there and support any of what they have if you want to.
Heather said his name is Cleo Harris, and he is a descendant.
The one who owns this particular site or store. Okay, good. Yeah, thank you. Thanks, Heather. I appreciate you chiming in like that, because I just Googled real quick.
Y'all must not have took off on the plane yet, because the plane take off at 11. So
well, yeah.
You got 8 minutes. Thank y'all for jumping in. I'm glad y'all did. I wanted to make sure that you guys knew that we acknowledged you, and that we were happy you were here. And
very happy.
When you get back home, share this podcast so everybody can see that we dedicated majority of it to the correlation of the movie and Altadena. So we're trying to pay homage.
On home. Oh, there he is. Yeah, he was in the documentary. And that is his site. That's why I was like, oh, look at them beanies in the back.
Cleo Harris Jr. Boy, I don't mess with them hats. Boy, he ain't playing with you.
But Jamal, if you click on home, there's something that has on our history, and that's right there. Scroll down that picture, which is Greenwood Archer.
All right, let me go back.
And Black Wall Street. And it was funny because I thought everybody knew the history of the Gap Band, and then
right,
Greenwood Archer and Pine. And I've known it, but Dee was sitting next to me and she was like, what? Like, didn't know that. And probably other people in the community that didn't. But if you know Uncle Charlie Wilson and the Gap Band.
Right. And you can hear the music coming up in the thing, so you kind of got a hint.
In the background. But it was literally, if you go back to that Greenwood Archer where it says Black Wall Street, they talked about that in the documentary, where Greenwood is the long strip. If you scroll down a little, that and you see the street signs. There's North right Greenwood that runs. Think about Lake, right? Going all the way up to the mountain, all the way down. But Greenwood might be longer. I don't know. But anyway, Greenwood Avenue. And then they showed Archer, which they said was like the line. You stay on the north side of Archer. Because if you go on the south side, you out of pocket, right? And then, that's Terry's site. And then where Pine is, because it was like a triangle or whatever, that's the Gap Band. And it talked about the deep end. And then the one dude would never like, well, we just called it the other end. The one dude was like, no, that was the shallow end.
Shallow end. Everybody was shallow. The shallow boat.
But the deep end was a combination of Bourbon Street and did he say Vegas or New York? Something. But a combination.
Bourbon Street and something else.
The nightlife.
Something about Harlem and
Bourbon Street. Yeah, that was the deep end.
Come on, Terry, chime in. We trying to get you to say some few words. Correct us if we're wrong.
As quick as he can. But
he only got 6 more minutes to be on that plane taking off.
I don't know if you want to bring up tour of blackwallstreet.com, but I believe that's Terry's site because he gives all the tours and takes people around. He talked about that on the show, a week ago or something like that. And
hold on 1 second.
And I know that he said, like when we get ready to come out there, contact him or go there and blackwallstreet.com. And yeah, we could do historic Greenwood. Thank you, Terry, for being on still before that plane takes off and putting that in there.
4 minutes.
There it is. You scroll down, there go Terry. In his hat.
Stop playing with me, boy, and come on this tour.
Greenwood, yeah.
I ain't scared of you, man.
right.
So yeah,
it's my first and last name at gmail.com, Heather.
Brian Bacchus.
Look at all the people taking pictures.
There go Terry in his hat and his suit coat.
Yeah, don't play with him. He's gonna show you. And right here is where we had all these people.
I like how he has the form embedded in it.
Right.
Yeah. So all you have to do is click on it, and you're right there. 30 person or groups of 15 or more, 400. That's
because you don't believe in you giving somebody 3%.
But yeah,
I ain't giving you 3% of my 400. No sirree, Bob.
Yeah, so it was a great Jamal, if you go, there's some photos that you got to click on left or right, but like that Mabel B. Little Heritage House, I thought that was right there. Yep, it was super cool because we saw the picture of Mabel and heard a little bit about her, and then later they showed this house.
Boy.
Yeah, so that's what's still there now, right? The historic area and the barbershop, T's barbershop, and all of that. But I can't wait to go out there and actually tour it with Terry. And then I really would love for us to show this again, maybe at Altadena Day or something, because it's just, again.
Well, what you do is you go to the Black Wall Street Museum first.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go on a tour with Terry because you want to get the horror out of the way. And then you go, then he'll take you on the joyful side of things.
Yeah.
You know, he's still going to tell you some stuff, but it's he's going to talk about what they talked about. This is where used to be where the barbershop. Now, when you go there, it's still Black Wall Street, but it's just condensed. Okay. So you know how long Myrtle is from Foothill to Colorado?
Mm-hmm.
That's how long Black Wall Street is.
Yeah.
And in fact, Myrtle kind of resembles what Black Wall Street looks like. You know, so it's kind of fitting to have the movie there, so you kind of got a kind of a feel.
Symbolism.
It was right there. It was, the whole thing worked out. I'm just happy that it worked out.
The mayor of Greenwood? I didn't know that.
Oh yeah. Can't be messing around with him.
I looked at that last picture where it says Marion Travels. I finally had a chance to experience the real Black Wall Street with the mayor of Greenwood, Terry Bacchus. Terry's family goes back multiple generations in this area. The history of this Black community is the history of his family. Thank you so much, Terry, for inviting me along. Your tour is walking the walk, not just talking the talk. It all comes alive and present in your stories. So that's super dope.
I'll share that again just so folks know what you were referencing. Let me make it smaller.
Terry got the tour of Black Wall Street on his back. Yeah, that was a great event last night, and a lot of my friends came out, family, and you know, all the people who I support and that support me. Thank you very much to Rashid Norris, Big Tone, Mosan.
Big Tone, it was so good to see Big Tone.
Yeah, I ain't seen him in a minute. You know, he's been taking care of his whole family. You know, his mom is 94. His brother just went to the hospital, so you know he's the caregiver. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna embarrass you, Tony, but we went to his dad's funeral, and his mom came out at the repast, stood there and said, "Now you know it's none of y'all, but Tony been here for every last one of my doctor's appointments and my husband, so everything is getting left to Tony. I don't want to hear nothing else." And she walked in the house.
In case you didn't know, now you know.
Quit playing.
That's hilarious.
Oh man, that's been my mom for like the longest.
Yeah, Tony stepped up for sure.
Yeah, and so that's what he's been doing. So here's to you, Tony. I'm gonna do something great for your birthday in April, brother, because you've been going through it, and I always acknowledge people who are benevolent at all costs, and we all with that with our parents. Just some of us are lucky enough that our parents are still mobile, whereas you know it's gonna come to that moment, and I'm gonna be right there for it. So. I think we did a good show today. We didn't even make any announcements. I think people are good without making any announcements. We just know there's a lot of stuff that we said yesterday, and unless y'all still here and want to see it, we're going to let Jamal take it away.
I mean, if y'all want to see it, put a 1 in the comments.
Yeah,
so
say you want to see it. Yeah, say I want to see the announcements for this weekend because we still got to push the Builders Town Hall anyway.
Everything.
Oh yeah, sign up for that. So far, about 50 people have. So keep signing
What's your
up.
capacity?
200 is what I have down. I know I could fit more if needed, but and the reason we need you to actually register is so that I can
refreshments,
the food and refreshments.
And need some drink. I gotta bring the waters.
And right. And so I that's why I keep saying please register, please register. It's not a fee or anything. It's just I want you to be able to get in.
Yeah.
And have something to nibble on.
Right, because people got questions, and some people are long-winded, so we're going to hand them a couple of bottles of water during their speech. And,
no, there will be times.
That's gonna be the
everybody has
equivalent
a
of wrap it
certain
up.
amount of time.
Like
and then somebody just told me some other guy wants to come be on the panel, and I'm like,
did you get vetted?
I just told him, I said, I got to talk to him first if I'm going to add him in the lineup, but then that's shortening time of other people because we're at 3 hours. So, and I do want to make sure that at the end of the panelists speaking that we leave room for Q&A, and then also so that people can talk to the different panelists and builders if they want to connect. So, yeah.
Cool.
So, Jamal, I think we'll talk about that later.
Say it again.
Nothing. Go ahead and take it away with the slideshow.
All right. Cool. We will do this. Take that off. There we go. All right. So Tony just mentioned it, as well as B. We do have our Builders Town Hall happening next Saturday on the 8th. It's going to be from 11. Oh, and let me change the layout here. Hold on. Let me do it like, there we go. Yep, from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Go back. 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Saturday, March 8th. Join us for an informative, engaging, and empowering Builders Town Hall. Let's move forward on the Altadena's rebuild together. It's gonna be a real nice event. We'll cover it again at the tail end. And if you have any questions about it, let us know. We got Tony, who's helping head the front of coordinating it on here to answer questions. As I mentioned yesterday, we have Love Altadena. It's a Black family game night. Love Altadena and Spades. It's tonight from 6 to 10 at Livery Studio. That's at 155 South Fair Oaks Avenue in Pasadena. It's an evening of gameplay, music, fellowship, and fundraising. And all proceeds, because it is fundraising, all proceeds are in support of bringing back Little Red Hen. Found this here. Huh? This is
tonight.
It's tonight, yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Then we have every Friday of the month. I just found this particular one. It's a weekly virtual disaster recovery town hall. It's every Friday at 12:30 p.m. until today. So watch live at pasadenamedia.org/KPass. The presentation will be available afterwards on YouTube at youtube.com/PasadenaMediaCA. Found this one too. Support for Altadena residents impacted by the Eaton Fire today from 10 to 2 at Pasadena Senior Center, 85 Holly Street in Pasadena. There's going to be HUD certified counselors, licensed clinical social workers, housing applications to receive 2 months rental support, as well as non-perishable daily goods. If you want to RSVP, go to eGold at Shelter Partnership at .org. A lot of stuff today I'm finding. Wildfire relief distribution. So join us for our weekly wildfire relief distribution, offering essential support for those impacted by the wildfires. It's today from 9 to 11:30, which is, you only got about 25 minutes left if you want to make this one. It's at 191 North Oak Avenue in Pasadena. There's going to be fresh produce, pantry food, diapers, menstrual products, pet food, new cookware, clothing, toys, and more. Caseworkers will also be available to assist fire victims with rental assistance and housing resources. Found this one as well in the group chat for the cousins and such from the fam. They're honored to invite you and a guest to join Lift International Church. Dr. Anthony McFarland is the pastor in celebration of African American and Women's History Months. It's a gathering of love luncheon in support of our seniors impacted by the Altadena wildfire. It's tomorrow, Saturday, March 1st, from 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. This is at Lift International Church at 1757 North Lake Avenue in Pasadena. Apparently there's free parking at Westminster Presbyterian Church campus, and the website is liftaltadena.org. And they do ask, well, I'm sorry, I just got the flyer today. It's well past the RSVP time, but there is a telephone number to see if you can actually attend. It's 626-799-6056 if you're interested. And there's also an email of liftpeople411@gmail.com. We also have an event, Rebuild, Restore, and Renew. It's going to be at Victory Park. It's a Q&A panel. It's going to be tomorrow, March 1st, from 2 p.m. Let's see.
5?
Yeah, 2 to 5. And it's brought to you by First Choice Design and Development. Development. It's going to be several panelists that will actually be there where you can actually ask a bunch of questions. It'll be a good event. Rita People presents Altadena Pasadena Freedom Picnic. This is at Victory Park tomorrow, March 1st, from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. 2575 Paloma Street in Pasadena. It's a family-friendly event for justice impacted individuals by serving time or supporting those that did. For information, you can reach out to Zimbabwe at 240-459-4751. There's going to be resources, speakers, food, and music. As we had indicated yesterday, you can apply now. There's LA County grants. It's the LA County Household Relief Grant. You can apply now through March 12th. You can get up to $18,000. It's going to be depending upon your household size. It'll be either be $6,000 for two-person household, $12,000 for a three-person household, and up to $18,000 for multi-generational households. So you can apply at lacounty.relieffund.com and see what you actually qualify for. Definitely check it out. I think B applied already. And as we've mentioned before, Union Station Homeless Services has a giveaway at 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. every Wednesday. You can get hygiene kits, new bedding, full-size body wash, bars of soap, shampoo, shelf-stable food and snacks, and sack lunches, and baby supplies such as diapers, wipes, and formula, as well as assorted gift cards. This is at the USHS Adult Center at 412 South Raymond Avenue in Pasadena, and you can get information at eatonfire@ushs.org. Also, the World Central Kitchen is serving free and hot meals at certain locations around the area. They're available to anyone who needs them. And the locations, they're actually going to have portable water stations supporting farmers markets across the area in addition to serving the meals. The two locations close to us are Sierra Madre YMCA at 611 East Sierra Madre Boulevard, and the other is Gordy's Garage Parking Lot at 843 West Woodbury Road in Altadena. And each of these locations is open from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. and then reopens from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m.
And that Sierra Madre location, just to let people know if they're thinking they'll do like Sierra Madre or Sierra Madre Villa over by PHS, it's not there. It's actually in Sierra Madre, past Michelinda. I forgot the other little street that it's past, but it's closer to Baldwin, but it's between Michelinda and Baldwin in the city of Sierra Madre.
Great point. Great point. Thank you.
Some people were like, well, where? You know, they think that Sierra Madre Boulevard, like it's around the PHS area or whatever, and it's not. It's actually Sierra Madre, not Pasadena, and it's between, what is that street? Okay, so you pass Michelinda and there's a four-way stop, and then just past that, but before you get over to Baldwin all the way, it's on the south side, and it's their YMCA right over there.
Cool. Yeah, great information, because I know folks were a little confused by that. Appreciate that, Tony.
Yeah, because we think Sierra Madre Boulevard, like we don't think about it past Michelinda into Sierra Madre, right?
Mm-hmm. Or people might have thought it was Madre, you know,
right?
All kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So the next one is disaster relief claim assistance. You can get that at the Jackie Robinson Center, Community Center at 1020 North Fair Oaks Avenue in Pasadena. On Wednesdays from 9 to 1, and on Fridays from 1 to 5. Got those critical dates. American Red Cross is gone for the deadline. The next deadlines are going to be the 10th of March. That's going to be for FEMA registration as well as the SBA registration. And the last one is going to be for the right of entry opting in. Uh-oh, what happened?
And I know you don't have it on there. You're going back. It's like March 10th for that right of entry. But right after that, March 12th is the, what you just went over.
Yeah.
So the grants. Yep. You should probably add that to like deadlines.
Why is it? Oh, okay. Well, this is a specific flyer, and I thought I had that on there. Wait, let's go back.
Yeah, I know it's a different flyer, but.
Yeah, this one applied now through March 12th.
Okay.
Yep. But maybe I'll modify it and actually include it there. Oh yeah, so for the right of entry is the 31st of March. And then the disaster recovery centers, where you can also get your permitting and planning done at the same time. It's 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. 7 days a week at 540 West Woodbury Road in Altadena. And then again, it's our Builders Town Hall next Saturday at next Saturday at Victory Bible Church. It's from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. That's 1497 North Hill in Pasadena. That's just north of Washington Boulevard in Pasadena. And if you want to register, you can scan the QR code, or you can simply go to altadenatalks.org/Builders Town Hall, and you can actually register there. And again, registration, there's no cost for it. We just need to get body count so that we can actually make sure that we have all the supplies that are necessary, to accommodate you. And, please go ahead and pass the word along so that we can get more and more people to support. And this is the first of many of these town halls. So definitely come check this one out and any future one, because you'll be able to get some really good information from the builders there. Anything else you guys want to add?
Go ahead. Second.
Yeah, of course.
Because I know people see the flyer and they don't really know any of these people unless they've been on the show with us. Mm-hmm. But Kendra Mays, who was the very first design builder that we brought on the show, Kendra is in the Antelope Valley right now. That's where her office is. And she has built all over LA County. She has a good relationship with the planning commission. She's done several homes in Malibu and Palisades all over. In the city of Palmdale, when realtors or people ask the city, like, hey, do you have someone you could recommend? They generally send them to Kendra. And that's just because of the work that she's done and the relationship she has. She's been on HGTV as a feature designer or something like that on Divine Design. I believe she told me her show was. And she came on the show. The next one is Sal Amin. He came on the show. He's from, and Kendra Custom Homes is her company. Sal Amin is from Vivere Construction. We had him on, I think, 2 weeks ago today on a Friday. And he originally is from Afghanistan, went from there as a refugee to Germany, and then came to the States and has lived in Southern California and up in the Bay Area. He currently resides in the Bay, but he has offices down here. And so he's going to fly down for the town hall next week. Patrice Quisenberry of Williams Homes. She is the VP of Community Outreach, and she's been a realtor for, I think, 30 plus years. And so she will be there. And Lance, who is the owner of Williams Home, Lance Williams, Ariel Babikian, I've got to do a call with him today, but his company is called ARDA, which is the Armenian Relief Development Association, I believe. And he is an alternative builder, which is part of the reason that I have him coming, is because Ariel builds with steel. Instead of using wood for the beams, they use steel. And so he's going to talk about alternative building products and how they do. And then each of them have a niche area that they're going to discuss. Allison Elaine was on this Tuesday, a few days ago, from PCI Builders in Monrovia. And she has a wealth of knowledge, not only as a builder for the last 17 years, but she did movie set building and things like that prior. But she's also the president of, I don't know if it was National Small Business Association, something, but she is an advocate. She has amazing knowledge. Melissa Otten, who is from BIA of Southern California. BIA is the Building Industry Association. She is going to be here to talk about the BIA and some marketing and different building aspects. There are more people. This is not an updated flyer. I will make sure before our next show that Jamal has the updated one. But Justin
if they
Love,
click the link, they'll see the updated flyer.
Justin Love of Love Construction will be coming on and talking about what he can do and what his company does. Jasmine Schuper of Green Line Housing. I confirmed with her yesterday. We had been playing telephone tag. But Jasmine is the founder of Green Line Housing and founder and CEO. And Green Line Housing is an amazing organization, and they give grants to people. And their grants are about $250,000 or up to that. And so she's going to come on and talk about that, because we know we have people that are underinsured or uninsured, and people will be able to apply with Green Line Housing so that they can build back their properties in Altadena. And then Dr. Ellen Williams, as many know, her mother and two sisters all lost their homes. They lost 4 homes. And Ellen has Drop an Anchor podcast, and she is a doctor therapist who talks about development and growth and trauma. And so she's going to come and just speak with people for a moment about trauma, how it may affect you through this trauma, whether it's mentally or physically, because sometimes we don't know what our body is doing or why. And a lot of people, since the fires, have had, things that they're not understanding, and it could just be a result of the trauma. Some people are still smelling smoke and they're nowhere near Altadena. Some people are still not sleeping or not well and have insomnia, having PTSD type nightmares or whatever because of running from the fire, right? So she's going to come and talk a little bit about that. So we have a lot of different people, not just builders. I actually have a couple more texts, some other alternative builder, and possibly a couple either county or Pasadena officials or something may be showing up. But in the next few days, I will be having those conversations today, probably through Tuesday. So the flyer may change again. And if it doesn't, there may still be people that show up, and I just announced them, at the town hall. But we're going to try to squeeze everything in within the 2.5 hours, so we could hopefully have 30 minutes for Q&A, or within 2 hours have, some time for Q&A and time for everyone to meet with the people that are there to present to them, or at least, scan a QR code, put your information in, they could get back with you, whatever, depending on how many people show up and how long this goes. So definitely look forward to everyone who can attending and really learning how we can do this together. This is a coalition that we are building and want to continue to build to help bring our community back.
I just want to add one more slide, and that's a late one right now, but it's for the event that's happening at Southside Christ Church of Christ, which is Pastor Carl Bacchus. And they have, it's from the Concerned Citizens Community Involvement. They have a Limitless Junior Robotics Showcase tomorrow at the church, 1655 West Manchester in Los Angeles. And it's from 10 to 12, and it's basically a STEM showcase. So bring your kids. Refreshments will be served. As you can see, they're going to be doing all kinds of little things with little kids. So bring your little kids. Check it out. That's all I got. I meant to put that in the beginning, but I didn't get a chance to. I didn't get. I don't have access to the slides, and Jamal came in, and then I forgot to send it.
Come on now.
No, I can't. Trust me,
I'm
just a little mind boggled right now. But anyway, thank you guys and everyone for being on the show. Thank you guys, Terry. Safe flight, you, Heather, and Janetti.
Yes, thank you guys for coming on. It was a pleasure to meet you all.
I got them a non-stop back because I didn't want them to have to be delayed any further. That's 3.5 hours of just hurry up and get off. I don't want to be sitting at the layover for another hour and a half. But this has been a glorious Black History Month. This is the last day of the month, the last day of Black History that they've dedicated the month for. It's never the last day of Black History. So appreciate it. Thank you, Marcus. We appreciate it. We keep doing that. Thank you, Marcus. Jamal and I be fighting over who's gonna pop the comment up first. You don't think I'll be paying attention. Look, you be seeing my hands moving, but I got a third hand down here that clicks the button.
I don't even know. Thank you.
Third hand.
Oh, thank you.
I didn't say nothing. I'm laughing at both of y'all just in general.
Hand.
No,
I didn't say. Yeah, you said that.
I'm saying.
All I know is I'm about to go get some pho. So
what the pho?
Yeah, what the pho?
Every single end of show,
pho's good.
Getting ready to go get some pho.
Because you're hungry in about 3 hours later anyway. It's just something to subside you.
It's nutritious though. Soup is always healthy.
Well, it keeps you from snotting up all over the place because we know we just got finished having the bird flu a couple months ago, or the whooping cough or whatever it was they had going around. I was sick for a month. Good thing we didn't start the podcast then.
All that up, yes.
I was okay. So today we go. Oh! Sorry, I lost my thought.
You've been like this. Yeah.
Right.
Yes. Thank you for joining.
I would have the goofy picture up there, like, huh?
Oh yeah, exactly.
Well, thank you, Elaine, and you have a glorious weekend too. We're going to be at a few of these events. I'm going to be capturing some video of a couple of them. And I may end up running out to the, I might go there first to the church one in Manchester since it's my family's church. So I got to go represent.
And it's a STEM event.
Furthest away too.
That too, because you know us splunkers.
Splunker.
I'm not a splunker no more, but it's all right. us tech people.
That's what made me want to talk to Tony. I said, "Oh, you know about Splunk? Oh, yeah, you know technical stuff. Okay, everybody else, y'all. I'm not talking to y'all no more. I'm not talking to Tony. Somebody who can actually relate to what I'm talking about.
She can get it. Not get it.
And
she understands.
I'm going to an event, and I'll take some pictures, video, whatever. I heard y'all. I have to ignore y'all and keep talking.
It was unexpected. We're gonna get fired off our own podcast.
You two will, right? It's gonna be the Tony Talk Show, and that's it.
Right. We'll just be limited to engineering.
We'll be the button pushers over here. That's all.
We'll be popping in like we'll sing and going, and then come back out.
Ain't nobody.
You can't talk.
There is an event. I didn't publicize it because you had to register and it was closed down. But I will be going to. It's on South Hill, down across, kind of like from PCC at Cordova, by Civic Soul, and it's a huge event tomorrow, and it's all day from like 9 to 5.
Where's this at?
Huh?
Where is it at?
It's in Pasadena. So, I'll go because I register and you have to show like your registration when you get there or whatever. But I'm going to go. I don't think I'm going to stay 9 to 5, but Jasmine Schuper will be there speaking. I know Pastor John will be there speaking. I think Jaleel White is there. There's a bunch of celebrities and stuff, but this Civic Soul is also something that they will have services for people, and, you can sign up if you need something, but it is about a collaboration as well, and how we can rebuild Altadena. So I'm going to go and get some intel
You lucky I didn't have a red RSVP because I've been walking up to everyone. Okay, Jaleel Wright, say yeah. My name is Jaleel White, and I listen to the Tech Talks. I mean, the Altadena Talks podcast.
So yeah, if you scroll back up, Jamal, I think that is it. The Eaton Build Initiative. Does it say it's tomorrow? Yeah, try. Yeah,
that's the one you're on.
Okay. Yeah, I just know I got this other something sent to me, and somebody was like, "I want you to go to this. Please register." A few weeks ago, I was like, "Okay," and I forgot about it. But it's tomorrow, so I'll be there, and I will get pictures or video or whatever. If I can speak with anybody, I will. But there's different speakers, literally, I think 45-minute segments or whatever, all throughout the day, and so I'm gonna go and see what that's about.
Meet the team.
Oh, that one. Go back. We're all in this together. Where were you just now? On the event, or I know is that Saturday? Yeah. Look at that flyer. View event. Yep. That's where I'll be. And when they say booths and panelists, they're having insurance and law experts, rebuilding with architects, permitting help, nonprofit rental assistant, landscape, all kind of stuff, mental health. They're having a lot too, and they'll have FEMA and all of them there. But it's at that St. Philip's School, and it's from 9 to 5. So I'm going to.
I wish we would have known about this. Affected small business. We could have got a free booth.
So I totally forgot. I literally was text this flyer and told, I need you to be there. Sign up for this, like 3 weeks ago, and I forgot until I got something. I think Wednesday that said, "This is your reminder, and registration is closed, so you can only
go back up to those QR codes
with this, huh?" Oh, you gonna do register to attend? You gonna scan it and see?
I'm gonna see if I can get a booth.
It closed on the. Oh, it said 227, but they closed it early. I think on the 24th or 25th because they were at capacity or something. And I did it 3 weeks ago and forgot about it. And then when I got it, I don't know, 2 days ago saying we're at capacity, so we closed registration early. This is your reminder when you get here or whatever. So that's why I totally forgot. But that's where I will be tomorrow. And so I will make sure that I get photos and get lots of good information to bring back to this show next week so we can talk about it.
You're darn tootin'.
So yeah,
I muted myself. It looks like you can volunteer if you still want to. So that's one way to attend.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, get your volunteer on. Stop playing with us. You know you need to be out there with us. In fact, if you guys are ever out and you see something that has something to do with Altadena, take a picture, post it, and tag Altadena, hashtag Altadena Talks. It'll show up on our feed. Don't be doing no frivolous stuff like, taking pictures of dirt, stuff like that. You know how people be.
I cannot.
We're leaving some space for you to respond, Tony.
I just said
you opting out?
I'm opting out.
You're not going to submit your ROE?
Right. See, look. I thought you turned your camera off. But
I'm opt out, and don't ask me to opt back then. No, I'm just playing.
Oh, man. Well,
all right.
I'm glad I was able to pop on.
Oh, wait. What time are we meeting later? At the bank?
Oh, yeah.
We don't really have to do that today. We can do that next week.
No,
I can say, no, it doesn't matter.
Let's talk about it after.
Well, yeah, we'll talk about it. I'll tell you what the plan is.
Okay.
I was going to do that, Karen, but they want me to provide business license, seller's permit. I don't sell anything, and I don't need a business license as a consultant, so I don't know how it's going to work, but I'm going to do it anyway.
See what happens.
Thank you, everyone, for watching, and we always turn a 10-minute show into like 2 hours, so we're going to here's to you, podcast watcher people. Thank you very much for attending this 33rd episode of Altadena Talks. And I don't even sound now. I'm trying to say it like the news people. Altadena. It's Altadena, man. Al. Like Al Blades, like Al Sharpton. Altadena.
Thank you for properly
Yeah, because I keep saying it like the media. Altadena is now suffering.
properly pronouncing our town's
It's kind of
name.
hard not to when you use that voice, though. When you use that voice,
Then you go,
it's like you have
Altadena.
to say Altadena.
No, you got to go, Altadena.
Okay, show's over.
All right, y'all. Peace out. We out of here.